If this is your first time here, I'm Dave, and I've been playing a lot of Overwatch lately. I really love support, but I wanted to see how I'd perform as a DPS. So, I picked one of the hardest heroes to master, Genji, and I played him for 100 games. Here's how it went. My very first placement game for DPS was something. I've never played Genji outside of 3v3, and trying to take out enemies was a lot to ask of me.
I don't know what I'm doing. What is this dude doing? Oh my god, am I stupid?
My aim has always been terrible and twitchy. I've been trying to work on that. The first few games did not go too great. In placement matches, you can't really depend on your teammates too much. I should have done this queued with other people because, man, these low elo players are something else.
That didn't do anything. That was the worst ult of all time, but everybody pressed all their buttons anyway, so it's okay. Where are my shots going? Hey, can I get some heals? Can I get in there? Oh, love that. Oh! I'm cracked!
Surprisingly, I had a worse solo queue experience as a DPS than I ever did as a support. I ended up not getting the 7 wins in my placement matches and lost 20 games to get my rank instead. Bronze 5. Whether my losing streak was a stroke of bad luck or I'm much worse at shooters than I thought, I wouldn't be swayed and continued to grind. I began looking at workshops for practicing, but the real knowledge I was looking for was Genji's combos. There's a lot of good stuff to find online about various techs Genji can do that I'd recommend you to check out if you're not already a Genji master. With new information about the powerhouse that is Genji, I hopped back on to grind more ranked games. It also did not go well. Time after time, I was stuck in bronze. I began to think I made a mistake queuing by myself and losing all those games at the start. Maybe this challenge was a bad idea and a time sink. Why would I pick Genji? Of all the characters to play for 100 games, the hero who has so many counters like Mei, Symmetra, Zarya, Reinhardt kind of. How can you juggle playing with your team and going to the backline to assassinate squishy targets? When to blade? When not to blade? I had so many questions for his playstyle that I didn't think about when I was playing support. I was so used to playing with the Genji and not being the Genji. And then it hit me. I'm in low elo. I can't depend on my team. The only way to rank up is to carry. Getting to silver was a lot harder than it needed to be in solo queue, but it was worth the experience. I understood that sometimes I just needed to go and try to make a play. I began to see that sometimes I could be the difference between winning or losing. Sure, I lost some games still, but my win rate got higher and higher the more I climbed. The first 50 games my win rate was around 30%, and by the time I got to silver, it was 50. An improvement like that is insane, and my highlight reel was getting more and more awesome. Something I need to mention. Every time I started a game out really well with a bunch of elims, someone on the other team would swap to Mei or Symmetra. Some games it was manageable, but a really good sim player can shut down my Genji like nothing. I realized one-tricking Genji wasn't really an option anymore if I wanted to climb. I can pop off on Ashe even with my terrible aim, so I started switching to her when things went south. Get it? South? Did you hear me? The funniest thing happened when I stopped one-tricking Genji. My win rate skyrocketed. As of the time I'm editing this video, my win rate with Genji is 53%, and Ashe's is 61%. I imagine I'll keep climbing if I keep playing, but the footage I have right now is already too much to go through. I wanted to tell you about what I learned trying out Genji and the DPS role as a whole. At low ranks, don't depend on your team. I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes you will get some bad teammates. That doesn't mean to leave them to die and go do your own thing, but sometimes you just need to make your own plays. Learn where the med packs are so you can heal in those games where you feel you're being ignored. Know who to target and know what cooldowns the enemy has that are the biggest threat to you. If you're going to go for the backline and they have an Ana, before doing anything crazy you need to bait out her sleep dart. For Kiriko, her Suzu, you get the idea. You never want to feel the pain of blading and getting slept. but you will. Luckily I haven't yet, but my blades can be hit or miss anyways. Understand that you won't win every game. Sometimes things just aren't in your favor. Try not to take it too hard and learn from your mistakes. Lastly, if you do have teammates with brain cells, talk to them. Work with them. Help them and they will help you. This is a team game after all, and you can't do absolutely everything by yourself, even if you're the best Genji on the planet. At the end of this journey, I'm now gold DPS and planning to climb higher because I can't stop winning. Genji is extremely difficult to play, and I would recommend everyone to pick something more intuitive if you want to climb on DPS. Unless you want to know what it's like to do game-changing plays with Blade, because the feeling doesn't get old.
Didn't even hit anyone, that's the thing. That's how good you are. You're just slicing the air. You're like, guys, look at my sword.